Hey guys, Mighty Gazelle here, back with more reading the My Hero Academia manga. This is chapter 341. These are the unofficial translations. They just went up, recording this at nearly 1 a.m. in the morning here on the West Coast. And yeah, I'm very eager to see what happens next because it could literally be anything. The last thing we saw in the last chapter was Shinzo dropping down from this tree. He was doing training, he was sweating, and some girl was like, "Oh, hey Shinzo, it's time," or whatever, let's go. And because she's Shinzo. So will it continue with Shinzo? Will it continue with Deku and the classmates? Where is the story going to go here? I'm excited to find out. So before I begin, if you guys like these video series, consider liking and subscribing. It does help me out. It helps out the algorithm and stuff. And as always, please leave your thoughts down below. Reading comments and engaging in discussions with you guys is one of the main reason I do these. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Let's dive on in. Okay, first panel we get is of Toga. Okay, I did not expect us to go to villains right away. That is cool. On the side it says, "Our heroes rise up. Meanwhile, the villains who continue throwing society into chaos are ... Chapter 341, the story of how we all became heroes, -1. Okay, that's cool. I like how it's a play on how it was 1, 2, 3 for the hero. By the way, I was thinking about this before. I don't know why they titled this is the story of how we all became the greatest heroes, 1, 2, and 3, when it really not a lot happened, especially that last chapter involving the students. The Mei Hatsume one, that chapter I understand, but like, odd title to use for those. But let's see what happens with the villains here. We have Toga, who's like all bloody, I assume. She's wearing her school dress. It almost looks like, it almost kind of looks like Twice's costume a little bit, because Twice had that like white. Is that there on purpose? Like I'm sure that's there on purpose. It looks like kind of her school uniform is like morphed into like Twice's look. She's got blood all over. She's opening her mouth and doing like a funny face. So, all right. In this rundown home, as we get it's the middle of the night. It's very dark. I don't know if these are just the scans, these unofficial scans that make it look so dark, but these look very dark. I'm assuming this is at night. This is a house. The wall says "Die" in demon on it in graffiti. Another graffiti says, "Born a burden, vampire demon, get out." Oh shit, is this gonna be like Toga's home? And then this must be the graffiti on it, vampire demon. Well, who else would like write that about her? That girl is a demon child. We did everything that we could, but it just wasn't enough. As we get someone walking into the building. I assume this is Toga. There's trash everywhere. There's cans and wrappers and everything. This is a very hard. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to see these scans, because whatever they're scanning is very dark, and it makes sense if this is at night, but it's a lot of black and a lot of fuzziness, so apologies if I don't make out the panels perfectly well. Toga is walking into some sort of bedroom or something, I think, and then we get a shot of Toga's face. I can't wait to see the officials for these, because like I can only imagine how cool it all looks, like Horikoshi drawing a dark scene like this. She's walking down a hall or a doorway. There's some scratch marks on a wall or next to the door. Oh, that might be like okay, so that's on the doorway. So that might be like one of those things you mark to like when you get taller or whatever. I think that's what it is, but maybe something else is written there. I couldn't tell you. Stop it. I'm assuming these are like voices from days long past. No one's ever going to accept that creepy side of yours. As we're getting some sort of flashback. No one will ever like you. Himiko-chan's face is so scary as she walks up the stairs. You have to restrain yourself. as she opens a door into an empty bedroom. I'm telling you this for your own sake. She continues to walk in. It's just an empty bedroom. Oh, she's imagining. Yep, this is her old bedroom. By the way, I should mention now, I'm not the biggest Toga fan. She's cool. Like, I think she serves her purpose to the story, and like, I'm not. There's people out there who love Toga. I'm not one of those people. I don't hate her. She's just sort of like, I find her interesting. I've always wanted to see more done with her. I never really just got behind the whole like, oh look, it's a creepy girl who sucks blood and she's like kind of psychotic. Like I know people really like that whole gimmick, but you know it's not really for me. Um, okay, so she hasn't said a word this entire time. She's just kind of like almost like reminiscing as she's walking through all this. She's imagining her old bedroom, her laying down in the bed, yawning like a just normal girl. I wish I was a little birdie. Cheep, cheep, hop, hop. So cute. I wish I was Kai-chan. The dimples she gets when she smiles are so pretty. As we and as she in her in this bed, she's like biting her wrist to make herself bleed. Oh my gosh. Every night I have this dream. There's a red sparrow dancing. I can feel its feet gently moving on my belly. Yeah, it's just a very interesting shot. It's literally almost like showing Toga's bare chest slash belly, and it's like this bird literally dancing, like I'm assuming covered in blood. That's why she said it's a red sparrow. It looks like it's dripping blood. We have another shot, and again, these are all very dark shots, so the scans aren't totally clear, but I'm just going to describe it best I can. There's some sort of pool of blood or something. Then he begins to eat away at my belly button. Before I notice it, he's dancing inside of me. Dyed bright red from head to toe. So cute. A little creepy. Gave me chills right there. It feels so good. Oh, how I wish it were real. And then flashback to the present, she's just standing alone in this empty, deserted building room. They threw all my stuff away, she says. And as we get a close up, like she's clearly going through something. I wonder if this is actually after the war. This is like where she ran. That'd be cool if this was between the war and when we saw her in the cave, because it was really weird seeing her just in the cave. I'm kind of hoping this is before then. Continuing down, we have someone outside in the streets. Oh, it's Dabi. Dabi's here. Okay. All right, so I think we're getting full on some villain stuff, like development for their plot line, which I'm okay with. You gotta have like the heroes, and then alongside them, show what the villains are doing. We've kind of been waiting for this for a while, actually. I'm on board. Who would have thought that even a psycho like you had feelings after all? He says as he's sitting in a windowsill. I assume this is the same building. Toga looks over at him. Hey, I was just curious to see what happened to my house. Super normal, she says. Huh. So, do you think you have what it takes? Says Dabi. For what? Oh, by the way, Dabi's hair is completely white. He just gave up on doing the dye. Good for him. Embrace who you are. Huh. So, do you think you have what it takes? What it takes, he says. For what? She says as she's skipping away. Okay, so at this point, they're okay, so it's her, she's back in the streets, and Dabi's saying this from a windowsill as she's walking in the streets. For what? As she tra-la-la, like trots, does her toga thing. To put an end to this pathetic world. Can't go back now, she says. Good, says Dabi, as he sticks a hand out and activates some fire. This world doesn't give a damn whether you smile or cry. The sun will rise again tomorrow, impartial to all. And then Dabi, face lit up by his own fire. Not from his face, but like from his hand. So let's have a good laugh, Toga Himiko. People live so that they can laugh. As it, oh my god, Dabi just straight up burned her house down. Okay. And we get a shot of Toga looking back at the house as it burns. They are going to find us, Toya-kun. You're too kind, she says, as he gets down from this window. The heroes are stretched thin. They don't have the manpower to come after us. You say I'm kind, huh? That might just explain why I want to make Endeavor suffer so much. Okay. Just two evil, crazy people talking to each other. Toga pulls out one of, it's one of her, like, captured blood sample vials that she carries on her. We'll use that, says Dabi. Transform. As Dabi stops because he fell out the window and he stops himself with the fire. That's kind of cool. As long as the blood is from someone you hold dear, you're able to use that person's quirk, as we saw. Does she have Deku's quirk? Oh my god! Okay. No. She has twice his blood. Okay. I didn't even think about that. What if she has... Oh my god! Okay, that got me chills. That the possibilities of that. Before Makia tore that place down, I managed to grab a sample from the man himself. Okay, so, wow. Damn, that's actually pretty crazy to think that he walked over to Dabi, or to Twice's body and got some blood. But she holds the vial out, and this is a really good shot of Toga, actually. She's holding the vial in her hand, and she obviously... So obviously Twice really liked Toga. Like, he actually had feelings for her from everything we've been able to gather. It's never really been clear if she loved him like that, in that kind of way. Obviously they were close, like, were friends and stuff, but I wonder if we're gonna... this is actually fascinating. I actually do like this a lot. Let us carry on this sad man's parade, he says. Yes. By the way, I love Sad Man's Parade. Definitely one of my favorite names for a move in general. That's so cool. The ones who will get the last laugh in all this mess will be us, as the fire just gets rid of the house. We cut to a new scene. This is the cave with All For One. They have a shot beforehand, but it's so dark out. I can't make out that panel. We have Skeptic and Spinner in here. I've been wondering, dude, it's gonna be so funny if Spinner has a huge role to play in this, and Bones, after like what they did, like in the newest season. You guys all know they screwed Spinner over with the screen time. Man, it's gonna be so weird in the anime, but let's ignore that for now. They're in the cave, and Spinner's right in front of All For One. All For One's on his little throne thing that he has, and you hear like some agonizing yells from the end of the hallway, or the cave. Shigaraki says Spinner as he walks forward, "Are you?" Oh my god, I can't make out. There's some like sort of blob around him or something. I can't. The scan's really dark, but you see Spinner approach the end of the corridor, and it's Shigaraki on the ground in pain. And All For One comes by and says, "There's no need to worry. Tomura's recovery is progressing smoothly. He's gradually overcoming the quirk singularity." "He's still Shigaraki, right?" says Spinner. "Yes, of course." I've been wondering that, like, I want some clarification as to, like, is the Shigaraki we've all known for, like, the majority of the series, is he still him? Or is he fused and become something new? Like, because we last saw with Star, he felt very much kind of like All For One too. And not only that, but now we have Tenko coming into the mix. Like, I want some clarification maybe when his whole healing / overcoming the singularity or whatever is done, we'll get some clarification. But anyway, yes, of course, as he hands or no, as Spinner's holding on to the last burnt hand that he had at the end of the war. Spinner, says Skeptic. Out of all villain activity, I'm sure you of all people are well aware of the percentage that's perpetrated by mutants. Despite the government's and the heroes' efforts, the heteromorphs remain entrenched in darkness. Many of your kind harbor a deep hatred for those who call themselves heroes. We the remnants, paved the way. But it was you, along with the early league of villains, who brought that figure to the public eye. Your costume was a mere imitation. Nonetheless, it became a beacon of hope for many mutants. Is that true? Is there actually a lot of people who copied that look? They're showing examples of it, but I don't really see... Oh, I guess some of them had the bandana on and stuff. I'm sorry to say this, but they've got it all wrong, says Spinner. I never had any high ideals in mind going into this. I was just... Skeptic cuts him off. The die has already been cast. The escaped prisoners and rebels are awaiting your arrival. As he pulls out, I don't know, is he pointing his finger? I can't even tell what that is. The scans are kind of off a little bit on this one, but it's not the people with scans at fault. It's just like it's dark. A lot of these are dark. You shall be the one to pull the trigger in Ballesteros' stead. Oh, he's saying him a little like remote thing. It doesn't matter what a small fry like me thinks. This can't be stopped anymore, Spinner thinks to himself. All for One says, the step you're about to take will bring hope to everyone. Destroy it all, he says. Spinner continues to think to himself, whatever. I'm done thinking about it. If it's for Shigaraki's sake, I will. As we get, whoa, what is going on here? Whoa. Okay, wait a second. Wait a damn second. There is a cameo here of a character I did not think we would get again. If this has to be that character. There's a... You guys remember the sludge monster from way back? Like episode 2 or whatever of the anime? And I think chapter 1 of the manga. I haven't read the beginning of the manga in forever, but it's the sludge villain. He's here with I think one's a Nomu. There's like this shot, it's really hard to tell. The scan here is like half, the bottom half, you can kind of make out the characters. On the right side, it's the sludge monster, and they're all walking toward the city. It's hard to tell. You can kind of see a silhouette of the city, but it's so dark. It's definitely at nighttime. We have a guy who looks like a Nomu in the middle, a guy to the left who's got like tentacle arms, and there's another guy who's pulling out like a samurai sword or something. And anyway, that's right, Uguchi-kun. Anyone can become someone else's hero. The twisted villains assemble. Okay. Wow. That's the end of the chapter. Oh, it says right here, My Hero Academia will be on break in the next issue. Okay. I had heard that beforehand, but now I know for sure. So there'll be no new chapter next week. That sucks, but I'm A-okay giving Horikoshi a break. Take all the breaks you need, man. I feel like of all mangaka out there, he is like one of the more consistent ones. He doesn't really take breaks that often. I've never experienced a prolonged break of any kind. I think the longest I've ever seen is like 2, maybe 3 weeks ever. And then he's right back to it. So crazy. This is a really good chapter. I actually really liked the Toga stuff. I felt that like while not a lot happened, it was cool seeing a side of her like this, you know, like a nostalgic side, a side where she thought about her previous life, and she's just like thinking about things. And obviously she's really moved by Twice's death, and every shot here, she's not doing her like Toga smile. It's almost like a curiosity a reminiscing look on her face as she's going throughout her home. And the only smile we get is actually at the very end of right before Dabi reappears. She says, they threw all my stuff away. She smiles, but then you see a smile, then it closes on the smile and it kind of blocks the eyes. Like it's not a true smile. It's almost like it's for show, but really there's no one there. So it's interesting. And then Dabi was cool. Dabi was cool here. I liked how he sort of was there to be nice to her and helped, bury the past. And I'd like to believe that this happened after the war when she sort of goes off on her own, after her confrontation with Toga. Well, not with Toga, Uraraka. But who knows? Maybe this is after the cave. I just think this would make so much more sense. This would be the stuff that happened right before. This shot of her holding twice as vial, that might have to be my thumbnail for this one. That's really good. I like that. That's the best shot for this entire thing. Yeah, so that was great. We get some more Spinner stuff. Spinner's not really one of my favorite characters, although I am very disappointed that the anime didn't do him justice in this last season because I think he is important. I just never really cared for him too much. He's sort of like the Usopp of the group, and I love Usopp on One Piece, but like Spinner isn't really as charming or as funny as Usopp, so he kind of loses points. But he's sort of like the everyman, like the guy that isn't particularly crazy in any one direction. He's sort of like the straight arrow, which is kind of, I think, why All For One's trusting him here for this task, because it's like he's not crazy, Yeah, but then we end with a shot of the sludge guy, the sludge villain. He's coming back. I still want the original Nomu, the USJ Nomu, to return. I think he will. I would love, even if I don't need a prolonged fight or anything, I just want it'd be so cool for Deku to fight him, because the series started with seeing All Might beat him. Barely, albeit, because he was running out of time limit, but that'd be so cool to see Deku fight him and win. Yeah, so good chapter. Very solid chapter. I didn't expect it to go to the villains after everything we just saw, but it kind of makes sense. I'm glad that the heroes aren't just progressing, and then we just lead to the fight. There's no villain build up. This is good too. I assume we're gonna get 2 more of these. If this chapter was titled How We All Became the Greatest Heroes -1, well, we get a -2, -3 to make it even with the hero side. I don't know. There's still some updates on villains that we need. We haven't heard anything about Compress. I guess that's kind of about it. We saw where Giganto is, but I guess we need an update on him. I guess the next one could just be maybe Shigaraki in his mind dealing with the whole Tenko appearing and stuff like that. That's all stuff that needs to be kind of progressed too. And yeah, that's all I really want to say. This is a good chapter. I like how I don't have any of my crazy lighting on today. It's just sort of like my one ring light that I have on, and then this computer screen. So it's funny how the panels in this one are so dark, and also my video is also dark. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and leave your thoughts down below. And yeah, unfortunately, no new chapter next week, but I hope you guys stay tuned for my Attack on Titan reactions. My Jujutsu Kaisen is going to be wrapping up here soon. I'm only 3 episodes away from the ending, and all that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, this has been Mighty Gazelle, hoping you all have a mighty day. See you guys.